Hello guys, this is all about Budgies, and this is Budgie Breeding Journal number 1 for pair B. And I don't know if you guys remember, but the male in this video was set up with a different female. It was pair A, and the female was a um, gray, that was it, gray female. And things didn't quite work out. They seem to be very attracted to one another at first, but sometimes some females just don't want to breed. And I set them up after I conditioned him again. Set him up with this female that you're seeing here on the video, and I picked this female in particular because of her size and also her coloring. And I've never had her set up before, so this is her first setup. And hopefully they produce, chicks that are multicolored and hopefully different mutations. So when you are looking at a pair, especially when you want to know whether they're interested in one another, you have to pay attention to those minor details. Like for example here, what you're watching right now is the female preening the male, and typically when the female starts preening the male, you know that they are a compatible set, and you really don't have to worry about the female not liking the male, because obviously she does care enough to even perch next to it. So if you have females that are constantly fighting with the male, pecking at the male, sitting further away from the male, then you might want to reconsider setting them up, or possibly even change their mates and see if that makes it any better. Because not every single pair that you set up they would be compatible. Sometimes you have a female that might not like the male might not like the female. So you never really know. The key is to condition the pair before they go in. I condition mine for about a month, and I tend to split up. I keep the males in one set of the cages, and I keep the females in another set where they can obviously see each other and they can hear each other. But I keep them apart for about a month to break any bonds that were made in the aviary. So here you have the male trying to mount the female, and he will do this like constantly throughout the entire day, non-stop. Sometimes if the female might get annoyed and peck at the male to leave her alone, that's completely normal. But as long as you're not seeing like blood being drawn, you have nothing to worry about. It's just the normal process of things. And you also want to check that they're both tapping their beaks together, because that's another sign that they like each other and they're very compatible. So they took a little break, and the male will eat a lot during the whole process of trying to lure the female to mate with him. He's going to consume a lot of seed, so you have to make sure that you have plenty of it. And, he will try to feed her. And if you've never seen how the male feeds the female, you might feel a little disgusted at first, because, you don't see that, humans. You don't see humans regurgitating food, which is what they're doing here. The male regurgitates to the female and feeds her that way. And this is probably because the female needs to know whether the male will provide enough and to care for her during the stressful time of producing clutch and laying eggs and hatching the eggs. So you're gonna see once they're very bonded that the male will often feed the female. It's completely normal, and don't be disgusted because it's gonna happen a lot. Now, like I said, you have to make sure you have plenty of seed. You have to make sure you have a cuddle bone, calcium supplements, soft foods, and the next step would be the male trying to, get the female to be interested in the nest box. He will often go towards the nest box first and start poking at it or tapping his beak against the box and trying to get the female interested. Once the female is interested, she will then like chew the entrance hole. You'll see this happen a lot. If you have a wooden nest box, you'll see it more. It's gonna be more noticeable as the entrance hole will be, chewed down. And the female will do this. She'll modify it to her liking, but obviously because the nest box is a plastic nest box, she cannot, chew through. It's a tough plastic. If you've never had one of these nest boxes, I would suggest you, change to plastic nest boxes. Are easier to clean. They're also lightweight, and you don't have to, worry about your cage getting all damaged because of the weight of the nest box. She's gonna spend, a lot of hours trying to chew through the box, and if you have any wood shavings at all in there, you'll see in a few minutes, which normally females tend to do. While the female was chewing on the nest box, the male was consuming more food to regurgitate to the female. Especially you're gonna see this being done like near the nest box. The female's gonna be inside of the nest box, the male's gonna poke his head through the entrance hole and regurgitate and feed the female. You might hear like little noises coming from the female. That's, usually her way of begging for food. And especially during the night, the female will make the noise so that the mate can know where she is. So, what I mentioned earlier, the female is throwing out the pine shavings, the wooden shavings, or whatever nesting material you have in there, and redecorating her home. A lot of budgies don't like any nesting material, so if you put like plenty of wooden shavings, you'll notice that the female is gonna, completely get rid of them. I tend to put more and more shavings until, she tries to keep a few. Since the nest box is plastic, you definitely want to have some shavings in there so that the eggs don't roll off or break or shatter. And if you have any new hatchlings or babies, you want to make sure that they have grip under them so that they don't get splayed legs. And the male, once the female has already, modified the nest box, the male will usually perch at the entrance hole to guard it and protect it from any predators. So it's completely normal that the male won't allow the female to, come out. Usually the female will attempt to come out and the male just, stays there, but eventually she'll come out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and please subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot to me that you subscribe. And also, I wanted to include this clip. This male budgie, always does this. But follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. For more info, visit mybudgieworld.com. And we have a new forum at mybudgieworld.com. It's mybudgieworld.com/forum. And I would really appreciate if you guys register and start commenting on that forum. Thanks for watching.